Hush now, baby, don't you cry. Mama kisses oceans dry, so you can fly. Wipe the tears out from your eyes. Hush now, darling, all alone. Feeling naked to the bone, cold as stone. Your feeble hope is almost flown. Tears are falling, mama's calling, raging through your dreams. Rain is falling, voices calling in a distant memory. Vengeance joyride, hollow inside, burning through your fingers clutched in fists of rage. The bones now, carve his heart out, break the bones now. Hush now, baby, on your own. Tasting life in color shown. Far from home. If only I could lift the stone. Tears are falling, mama's calling, raging through your dreams. Rain is falling, voices calling in a distant memory. Vengeance joyride, hollow inside, burning through your veins. Carve his heart out, carve his heart out. Fingers clutched in fists of rage. Carve his heart out, carve his heart out now.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining our little stream here after the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was, I can just say I'm just so proud of the team and this journey. It's really been nostalgic, adventurous, and epic to jump back into the world of Tales of Elethran. And you know, meanwhile we were making this episode, we were also doing the Choose Their Path, where we did like 6 episodes, where you can see Mikkel and Ken, the two boys. Yeah, if you just saw the premiere, you know their fate, and it has all been part of the plan to get their story told before Daughter's Revenge, so the story could get together. And it's been very emotional, very great experience to also see the final thing. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone who have been subscribing and following this channel and the series for however long, and for liking and commenting all the time. It's just, that's what keeps us going. This universe is it's a very dear passion project, and it's been going for many years now. But I would just like you to meet the team before we answer some questions. They're here, all of them, so maybe you can just like come up and wave here, you guys.
Alright. That's Anna.
Thank you, everyone.
Welcome on all of us together. All of us, yeah.
There's of course many more, and I also need to thank everybody who has been working overseas on this project. And yeah, here they are. We have like the core team in Skjald here. We have wait, where's my hand? Anna, Jenny, Elizabeth, James, Natasha, and then of course we have everybody else who worked on. You saw in the credits: Mathias, the musician, Darina on backgrounds, Edward, everyone. Just like it's just so nice. Do you guys want to say something while you're here?
High five.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
We saw it in the couch here, the episode, and it was very, very fun to read the comments, and there were so many twists where we just like had a blast reading what you guys were saying. But yeah, thanks guys. We're gonna make a short stream because we have to celebrate afterwards. Actually, let's just we also have like a little champagne. Okay guys, we're ready for some questions.
Who was the singer at the end of the song?
The singer is Macy K, and I have to say she is one of our backers as well on the Kickstarter, and she's also the voice for the main character. It's been a pure pleasure working with her. She's talented and awesome. You might have heard her in what is it called, the Fat Rat, and the song is called
The Storm.
The Storm. Yeah. So we've just like, she's also the character you can see here actually in the episode. Let me just open it up. Daughter's Revenge. Finally, Tira got her revenge. I've wanted to tell this story for so many years. You have no idea. Like, this story is one of the stories I have been sitting on, just like waiting for the perfect time where we could get enough funding and time to tell the story. So I'm so happy. Last year's Kickstarter was like so good, and patrons, all patrons, have been helping on this. So.
Will the song be available on iTunes?
Yes, we are right now working on getting a Tales of Elethrion playlist, and we're working on setting it up on Spotify and all the different streaming services. So me and Mathias, the musician, is on that right now. And that's really exciting. Finally! Daughter's Revenge. Let me just go. Yeah, you can see it's playing like in the back now. Let me just share. Okay. So
someone is asking you to repeat who made the music.
Mathias Valiant. We have worked together on all of Tales of Elethrion, and we are the few last men standing back from the reward. Me and Mathias, and we're still as excited and thrilled about it. Every time we sit in his little sound studio, it's always the most cozy thing, and both huge nerds. So yeah, well, we'll put out the music video, and of course, as soon as we have it ready, we'll put a link to all the playlists, and all of the Kickstarter backers are gonna get all of the music and downloadable episodes sent as soon as we have it put together. Like, this episode was like ready on Wednesday, and we actually got like a new sound mix yesterday that we couldn't get in, but that's gonna be in the music video. Yeah, so you can see like the one who's actually doing the voice for Tira. That's this bagger here. This awesome girl called Macy K that you should check out. Macy K, The Storm, which if it's Macy you were referring to before. check out her other songs. I'm gonna link to it.
Carl the Russian asks, was Wilhelm's character design based off Matt from the Wheel of Time?
Nope. Who was that? If
Carl the Russian. Asking
if Wilhelm was designed from him.
Based on.
No, basically Wilhelm and Vito, the first characters for the show, was designed by having like a lot of different references. We put together a whole mood board over here with like people who reminded us of Vito, and a whole mood board over here with people who remind us of Wilhelm. We already had the characters created and written, so when we designed them, I think I have them actually. I could show you the drawings.
People really want to know the name of Macy's cat. Do you know that?
We'll have to ask Macy what the name of the cat is. She's the one who wanted the cat in the design. We can find it. We'll research while we continue the stream. Yeah. Oh yeah, and real quick plug as well. We are really excited also to be doing a board game for Tales of Lithuania, and if you want the art book for the game and Daughter's Revenge and all of the latest things we've been doing, like Choose the Path and the posters and everything, you can get that in here. But also you have the board game, which is super cool. I always wanted to make like miniatures for Tales of Lithuania, so this is the chance. It's an adventure game where you play together with your friends and you basically okay, let's watch it, you know. It's really fun. I hope that the screen sound is shared. Oh yeah, it is. Perfect. Let's just watch this because I would love to hear what you think about it.
His cat's name is Freddy.
Oh! Yeah. And Macy's cat name is Freddy. Now we got that law. It's in the website talesoflithran.com. You can find all the different cameos. And we'll keep updating it.
Greetings travelers, my name is Mikkel Mainz and I've done 3 Kickstarters before for Tales of Lithuania, an animated fantasy web series. This Kickstarter is for Tales of Lithuania as well, but it's an adventure board game. In this board game you play as the different heroes from Tales of Lithuania and travel up to the X on a mysterious treasure map. You start out with one hero and then you move that hero through different tiles where you have to play different scenarios. This could be a standard fight, it could also be a gladiator fight, you could fight a monster. When you've played through all the different tiles, you have gotten more heroes on your team, you've gotten spell cards, equipment cards, you've gotten more hit points, experience points and gold. And the most important thing and your goal in the game is to grow as strong as possible, because the game ends on the last tile where you hit the X on the treasure map, and each hero has to fight each other in final battle, and the last hero standing wins the game. You can check out the rewards in the rewards section. There's a standard game, there's the full box set where you get all of the stretch goals, which means more equipment cards, more spell cards, more miniatures, more hero cards, more curse cards, more tiles for the game board, and more. There's also an art book you can pledge for, so if you're into the universe of Tales of Lithuania, then that contains all of the artwork for the board game and for Daughter's Revenge. If you'd like to get your hands on a cool board game, consider backing this Kickstarter. You're gonna support some awesome artists and get a cool game. Thanks for stopping by.
Skjold! Yeah, so that's a little plug, but I hope you think it sounds interesting. As you can see, we've been busy getting all this cool content ready for you guys. I just want to show the poster we did. All the ones on Kickstarter, I've seen it, but Anna just did the last touches on it tonight, and this is the most epic poster. We're also like the most epic episode, the most epic poster. Here we have it. And let's see if I can just zoom in.
How much will the art book be?
The art book, if you just want the art book, you can get it digitally in there, and also if you want the physical one, you can pledge for it somewhere down the line. And also, if you just pledge something, you're also going to get access to the post campaign, where you can just like choose individual things, to the add-on page. But there's also going to be a collectible miniature of Tiro, which is pretty neat. But enough of this. Now I just want to show this real fast. If I can zoom in. Yeah, you can see. Whoops. Disappeared. All the nice little characters. Nicely rounded up. Adventure. Okay, but yeah, it's exciting. Any questions while we're at it?
People want to know if they can get the board game after like the Kickstarter has like.
I think it's gonna be limited. You can see we wanna make all the figures of Tales of Lithran, but all of the different characters after the main characters are gonna be stretch goals. It's very short goal this time though, and we really wanna make all of them. You can see get to the greed, mirror, all these cool characters, and you can see the miniature, collectible miniature. That's gonna be a bigger figure. And that's as well, you know, the higher we get up, the more different characters we can make. It's the first time we do this kind of campaign. The 3 other Kickstarter I've done has been for the animations primarily. But since it's also so costly and difficult to make a board game, it had to be other. So this one is going to be primarily to try to make that, and then of course all extra we get is always used for animation, but then we'll see, maybe there's going to be another campaign for animation as well. Somebody also asks if we are going to make Dungeons and Dragons. There was plans of doing like a campaign, like a module for D&D. The only way we can do that is also through a campaign, or like if like the Patreon goes up, we can do something like that, or if we do a Kickstarter for it. Yeah, it's a huge task. All of the Tales of Lithran demands, of course, a lot of work, and we need to like focus. But I have my to-do list of stuff I want to make with Tales of Lithran. Other questions? Let me just get back to my full screen here. I'll see the comments. Yes, and Aaron, Ross, and Dan were all in the gladiator fight scene, and Ross also animated a scene into the film, which I'm also just gonna show. You can see here. So he was doing the posing and with his characters for this year, as you can see, and he streamed it as well. So if you are interested in that progress, go check out Rubber Ninja's Twitch. Now that we're at the Twitch, also if you are on YouTube now watching this, if you like these kind of streams, go over right now and join the Tales of Lithran in one word on Twitch. I'm sure there's a link in the description as well. How cool was it? Did you enjoy seeing Brun and Amarath and all these different characters again? I was so happy getting to know them a little bit more. Let me just put some music on. Are there some questions I've missed?
What was the scene what was the scene most forward to anime?
Well, if we talk about scenes, we have to remember that like there were a team on this working really hard to make all of this cool stuff, and I think each of us had like favorite scenes. I remember some of the ones that were pulling teeth out, like there were many. The slow head turn for Mick in the fight, that was the one that was revisited by Anna many times while jumping between different scenes. And which one was it the most difficult for you, Natasha? I think one of the ones that took the most, actually, yeah, one of the ones that went through the most retakes and where we were sitting with it a lot was the scene where, remember, there was a scene that was redrawn so many times. I'll remember it in a second. Other questions meanwhile?
So how many people in the team love playing tabletop RPG games?
I think we all loved the tabletop games.
Yeah.
You're
Most
sending
of
me a skeptic look.
Almost all of us.
Almost all of us. Which one? Other questions? Let me just find. It's a good question. I think it's a really hard one to answer right now, but I'll get back to you when I remember. There was one scene where we drew Tira wrong, and we had to redraw her so many times, different takes. I think the first scene was actually, the first scene must have been like the one where she walks over to the chest. I think that was the first one we took to the end. Yeah. Okay. Show chat. Okay. What is Greed planning to do? Yeah, so basically that's a good question, because Greed is more like a deity that, in order to like get out to into the world, it like feeds onto a character's darkest sides. So with Elethron it was Greed, and before that it was in the desert god Kartoffel, who wanted to like clean everything. The whole world should be wiped out and become back into sand. And so you have to ask yourself, what does Mick have of dark side? He is a happy bard who loves his friend. He plays music. He likes to be on stage. He's a charismatic, bard who, yeah, you will have. I can't spoil what's gonna be the next thing, but I can say that now the first era of Tales of Elethron is completed with this episode. It's like the Age of Heroes, where we have the treasure map as the center point, and the treasure that Elethron placed all his treasures in, and the Greed. What we enter now is like what we in like our world structure called the Age of Greed. But basically, there's going to be a new focus for Tales of Elethron, and that's more like the darkness has been released, and that's going to be a little bit more. It's not going to be good versus evil, because there's a rule in Tales of Elethron: we don't have good people or evil people. We have different points of views. But there is going to be something, some dark clouds coming over the lands, and you need to get to know Greed as a character as well in Mick. But what's also interesting is that we're probably into a new age, a new era where Vito's children is gonna come out. So there's some new characters there. yeah, you'll have to wait and see. And it's not sure when the next is gonna come. We'll have to figure out how to fund it if we're gonna do like a big thing. But Patreon is of course always going to animation and creations. Why does Sasuke's death feel so anticlimactic? I'm gonna assume you're talking about Naruto here.
Oh, someone asked, is Mick still alive or did greed fully take over him?
Good question. So is Mick still alive or did greed take over him? Mick is still alive. Still alive. And there's also his personality still there. It's just like Elethran. He also split with greed in the end and remembers the good times. So it's the same kind of thing that will take over, except that since it's more physical, he's probably going to have some cool powers. I'll show a concept that we made. You can also let's see, have it here. Yeah, I know. We have like 5 minutes left, and then we're gonna close off the stream. So if you are sitting with like really, it's like itching to tell that question, then it's now. You can see here. I'm just gonna share. Yeah. So I think you can imagine that Meg is gonna have some magical arms and cool things. You can see like a concept for him here. Our two Pokemon trainers from the reward. You know, you remember they were like actually our me and Kenneth back when we did the reward. We had we made like a Pokemon battle jam. It's also on the channel. I think it's called. Just write Elethran Pokemon. But there the two Meg and Ken were introduced, and you can see like little Pokeballs in their belts in their reward. So this is like their fate.
Have you told them to check out Choose the Path where you follow?
Oh, very, very important. Very important. You have to go. If you have not been following Choose the Path, one Choose the Path that's really, really important to see is Choose the Path 14. You can see, of course, the whole story up until, but in this one you get the journey up to the treasure map. We can maybe round up with this while we read some. We'll check some questions out meanwhile.
So he said, is it hard to write dialogue without words, and what made you choose that?
Okay, so somebody asks why we chose to do it without words. Well, basically this project, in the reward we tried dialogue and voiceovers and all that, but we wanted basically first to make like a full montage movie, and then instead we made no words. And when we did this Kickstarter for the first hero, we decided to go no words also because it was people from all over the world who supported the project, and we wanted everybody to be able to follow. And it's basically just a cool way of telling stories. I love the non-dialogue storytelling, because your mind starts to think about these characters, and you get much more. It's like a creative journey, and you can see it over and over and see new elements in it. So yeah, Play Repeat also says, I know, I fear for all my favorite Elethran characters. And that's what I wanted as well, you know, in a little bit like Game of Thrones. But when you cut off the fingers of Wilhelm, it's basically from that point off, you know, you're never safe. It's it's part of playing D&D. It's part of life, and you know, you should never know what happens next. Oh yeah, and thanks for all the different people who sent in clothes for the big cloth Mick challenge we had on Instagram. And Twitter. Watching Megan Kin Adventure hits different.
Yeah.
I should stop pulling my beard.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not a beard, that's a mustache. Alright, but it's 10. So that will be good. We're an international.
Of course, the kids, the music Mick plays is magic. He's a bard. And then Daughter's Revenge starts. Okay, we're rounding up now. Last question, and then I'm gonna say thank you, everyone. I'm gonna take the first question that pops up, unless you have any. Nope. Last question. Okay. So there's. Okay, I have one. I have a. I have a story
Someone
that.
just wrote,
yeah.
I have one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a
How
story.
long is the production of one episode?
Yeah. Good question. The story, like the production of one episode, it varies, and this one was started a year ago. But remember, on top of that, we did Choose the Path
Okay.
yeah, a lot of different things.
Yeah, like you just.
But basically, we had boarding in the fall, and before that, of course, there was a story and beats and a lot of back and forth. All the structure and the whole scheme has to fit together, and you know, there was no other way this could happen. Ken, he was doomed, and Tira had to you know, learn that she, with her revenge and rage, you know, inner problems, you know, that could lead to the same thing that happened to her mom. So it's gonna be exciting to see what happens next. Put the site on the Kickstarter. Okay, but I would just like to say thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this premiere, and yeah, it's been a pure pleasure making this project and sharing content with you all of the time. This is the best community that you know, director couldn't dream for, and all of us here in Skjald, we're just like super exciting. We're reading all of the comments, and we're just hoping for even more adventures. Okay, and since we we lost a lot of subscribers last time I did like frequent streams, so that has moved over to the Twitch channel, and then we're gonna do like big streams when we have it on YouTube. Yes, thank you so much, and it's not the last time you're here. We have like a full month of Kickstarter, and then we also have like a lot of content we'll release the following period. Bye bye. Where's this thing?